Well, hello, everybody. Comic book review. That's right. It's the DNA show. Dennis and I are here. We are going to start this new thing where we try to do a comic book review at least a couple times a month of a book that we both bought and read and thought was fantastic. You saw the thumbnail. We're talking the latest outing of BRZRKR by buddy pal of ours, Ron Garney. When we saw Ron back in spring at South Carolina Comic-Con, he was working on this. It's finally out. I bought it last week when it came out, read it that night, called Dennis, said, you got to read this. I think we should review it. And here we are.
Yeah, I all the BRZRKR ones are on my list, and so it's automatically gets pulled for me. And I was very excited when Ron said he was working on this, because this is the first time since the original launch that the original creative team is all back together.
Yeah.
I really couldn't wait to see it, because I really love that initial one. All of the BRZRKR have been good. So, I mean, even the ones that the original team isn't on have all been very solid. I've enjoyed the expanding universe. It's world building. You guys already know I love that. So I was super excited to read this. And yeah, and we did. Now it's time to chat about it.
All right. Like the movie reviews, what's it about? We'll CGC rated it then. Dennis, what is BRZRKR, the Lost Book of B, about?
In the 13th century, so this is where we're going back to, the BRZRKR serves as the ultimate weapon of the legendary Genghis Khan. Oh. And it seems that no enemy of the great warlord can withstand such an onslaught of havoc and death, but the war grows larger than B could have ever imagined. He must question where his loyalties truly lie. Discover this epic new chapter in the immortal saga, revealing new untold secrets behind the wider BRZRKR universe.
All right, so unlike a movie review, because this is writing and art in a comic book, Dennis does more of the writing, I obviously art, so we'll divide it kind of that way. Not that we won't touch on the other stuff as well, but I just want to say Ron Garney's artwork, he is hitting on all cylinders with the looser style that he's been doing for a few years now. He started it, I think, at Marvel and progressed it even further in the first BRZRKR series. When this new one, he's back. He's doing some great lighting. I mean, Ron's storytelling has always been top notch. He does a great job of mixing big, exciting panels and stuff with just nice, calm, serene panels. His choice of shots, long shots, and how he composes the page itself, the panel flow from one to another is great. And he draws stuff that is uncomfortable, and we're not going to spoil stuff, but this book is violent. We'll just say that. And there's a few things in it that when I got to it, I was like, oh, that is unsettling. So, yeah, I thought Ron just hit a home run once again with the artwork. And, we'll show you some of it as we've been doing.
Yeah, on the art side, as a layman, I just love Ron's art. His art is gritty. It's dark. It is a perfect it's a perfect marriage between the way that Matt tells the story and what Ron puts together on the page. I mean, it comes together as it's just a beautiful flow. So when I read a book, I can tell when I'm sitting there looking at it, I'm reading the dialogue, and there's a whole bunch of on the pages. This one isn't exactly filled with a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of narration and stuff that's in there, but you can even see, like right here, the violence and stuff. And it's just not people stabbing or, the Marvel DC way where maybe a sword would go through and nothing. I mean, this is war in its true grittiness.
It is visceral is the best way to describe it. And he just does such great action with the battle scenes and with the one guy going up against these armies. And then finally, story-wise, Matt and Keanu tell a great tale of how he becomes basically the property of Genghis Khan. But before he takes his vengeance out and wipes out Genghis Khan and his crew, Genghis basically lures him in with ladies and opium.
He does, but before that, you know, when you get to take a look at, we're talking about some of the darkness on here. Like I said, we will show you a few things in here, but you know, we're definitely not going to spoil the book because you definitely are going to want to probably pick this one up. But you know, they found a way to, you know, curb the ebb and tide of B's power, and I mean, these are kind of the arguments and debates that we would have back with the Deadpool Wolverine being immortal, their healing factor, stuff like this. You know, they basically boil them, you know, and they just keep them in there. And when you look at it, it's just absolutely horrific. They put the cover on there, and when they finally dump them, wow. Look at that. He's angry. He's still alive. Yep, not human. When he recovers, boil him again.
Yep.
So, you know, they're literally just sitting there torturing him. So this is a really good, you know, lead up. This is working its way up the mountain in the storytelling, getting you interested to see what's coming up. And then we get to find out what's going on with Genghis and why he needs to go attack, who he needs to attack, how it has to be done. But of course, there's always a giant plot that's involved with it. And how does he get out of the situation? Back in this time in the 13th century, opium was a big thing. And, you know, B's not immune to the effects of opium and stuff like that. So they do some very creative stuff in their storytelling. Again, think about Wolverine Deadpool.
Right.
How do you kill him? You know, vat of sulfuric acid. That was always one of the things. And then you keep them under there. And would it dissolve everything? And if anything survives, does it continue to grow back? It's the same thing with B. And you do get to see something really cool later on in the book about how he handles a certain aspect. But this is a fun, invigorating read, and you can see a lot of, there is some narration, you know, characterizations in it, but a lot of this you can see how the narrator talks about once this cycle is understood, his weakness can be exploited. So the way that they're storytelling, and then there's an entire panel, and then it ends with a little more narration. Another panel, a very small narration. Another panel, very small narration. But this is the type of story that they're telling in this book. I know some people would be very disappointed, but you shouldn't be, because the book was designed around this type of a storytelling. It's very visual.
Yeah, it reads to me like, you know, if this was episodic television, this would be one of those weeks where they say, all right, let's go away from the main story for a week. And for the hour-long episode, let's get a good narrator in there and, you know, voice, and tell this backstory kind of as a breather between, you know, episodes. I don't get the set, you know, I read this and I thought, great hour-long TV show. I mean, you could make it a 2-hour movie, but I think it would be better as an hour-long TV show. It's fast-paced. I thought it was one of the best books I've read in a long time. You know, obviously from the art standpoint, like I said, big Ron Garney fan, always have been, and just the writing itself was really good on this one. And the ending, you know, what happens when BRZRKR is on opium for so long, and what it does to his mental state, and what he has to go through to basically get clean, you know.
Yeah.
And we're not going to spoil it, but it's pretty cool, and it just takes his his story and what you know about him to another level.
Especially since, you know, the first one, you're dealing modern age and stuff like that. We know he's been around for so long.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, you can take any time period. That is one of the cool things about this character. Put him in any time period. Was he in the Civil War? Was he dealing with the Crusades? You know, things like that. So it'll be very interesting. I thought Genghis Khan was a great one. Love to see, you know, this type of, you can't even call it a what if, because this is his actual history.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's review this bad boy. So the way we do our reviews is a CGC, that's comic book grading scale. So the worst case scenario is a 0.5, best case is a 10.0. With this book, I will give it an 8.5. I already told you why. I love the writing. I especially love the art. And unlike Dennis, I've only read the Berserker stuff that the original crew here of Keanu, Matt, and Ron and Bill Crabtree have done. I haven't read the other miniseries and one-shots and stuff. I'm a purist. What can I say? So yeah, so 8.5. I think you should go out and buy it. It's $10. It is oversized. So it's not, you know, I think it looks like there's no page number. So I don't know how many pages it is. It feels about double sized, maybe a little more than that. But I thought it was well worth it.
It's a nice hefty book, and it was a great read. I'm giving it a 9.0. I thought the marrying of the story and the artwork, it was just as intriguing as the original run. Like I said, out of all the ones that I've read, and I've gotten them all, the original crew just has an edge on the other stories. They've all been good, but you know, these are really good, maybe great. And so yeah, I'm a diehard fan of this. I will be. It is permanently on my pull. Anything Berserker, even if I don't see something coming out, it automatically gets pulled for me. So 9.0, that gives us an average of 8.75. So guys, that means this is a book we do recommend you go out and pick up.
That's right. And I hope they do a black and white version of it. They've done that with a few of them after the color ones. I would love to see that with this one. And you guys should definitely check out KOR-DRATH, The Awakening by myself and Dennis. It's our new graphic novel spinning out of KOR-DRATH, The Reckoning, the first book, which is available on this campaign. You like Dungeons and Dragons, you like Game of Thrones, you like Conan, you are guaranteed to like this book. 64 pages of action and adventure, a hero's journey. KOR-DRATH's quest continues with Adriana. Go check it out. The link is in the description below. Tons of great stuff on this campaign for you guys to look at. Thank you so much for joining us. What are we seeing tomorrow night?
Speak No Evil.
Speak No Evil. That review is going to be up Friday morning. So check that out for sure. Until next time, thank you for watching and joining us and all that fun stuff.
Live long and prosper.
That's right. Bye-bye, everybody. Like, subscribe, and share.